Reinforcing social skills in the classroom. The social skills program we are currently using in our school district is based on Michelle Garcia Winner's social thinking program. Key phrases and components from the program are incorporated into social skills classes and are now being infused in both special and general education classes in the district. The strategies we utilize are successful because students and adults learn the concepts, connect with the importance of the concepts through direct teaching, videos, games, and conversations, and because they are now more intrinsically motivated, are able to tune into how their words and actions affect others. The catchphrases seen here are simple to remember, and when used throughout the day, make it simple to get kids back on track with fewer words and reminders from the adults. Expected and unexpected behaviors. Expected behaviors. What we expect will happen in any given situation. Expected behaviors make people feel safe, comfortable, and happy. When people do things that are unexpected, we feel uncomfortable, nervous, or angry. We connect this with, you can change how someone feels by what you say and what you do. These reflect behaviors that are expected and unexpected in the classroom. In the classroom, we expect that their children will have their eyes on the teacher or speaker, will have quiet mouths with no noises, quiet hands and bodies, raise hands to talk, use inside voices, and use polite words and tone. Also, they should be maintaining personal space, or as we say, respect the bubble. It is explained to the children that if we all do what's expected, our work will go more smoothly, everybody will be able to learn, everybody will be able to stay in control, and it'll be a more effective use of class time. When discussing unexpected behaviors with children, it's really important to explain why these behaviors are unexpected, why they impact the classroom in a negative way. Kids need to understand why we require a certain behavior in order for it to become more meaningful for them. If we just say be quiet, well, they might be quiet for a little while, but if we explain the consequences to other people when they're talking out of turn, then that helps them to understand it better and then internalize it better. It's also great to teach students about unexpected behaviors through example. What we do in the classroom for one side, on one side of it, but on the other side, giving them anecdotal stories of things that have happened to us or experiences that we've had in which unexpected behaviors have either caused problems for the people we're with or for ourselves. I explained to the children that even though I'm a teacher and I'm up in front of them and I'm talking, that I don't do well auditorily, and that for me, when there are any kind of conversations going on between other adults in the room or kids in the room, it's really hard for me to stay on task and to remember what I'm trying to say. When I explain it that way, the conversations seem to go down a little bit, and the kids are a little bit more mindful of having a quiet voice and using whole body listening, which we'll get into soon. So you can see the unexpected behaviors, there's a million of them, but here we just have the basics: interrupting, side conversations, silly noises, turning your body away from the group, using an outside voice, using a rude tone or words, and leaning on, touching, or hitting friends. That would be disrespecting the bubble. Whole body listening. This is one of those catchphrases that really gets the kids' attention quickly and helps them to understand how we would like their behavior to change. We use this chart, or variations of it, in a lot of our classrooms now to help the children remember how to use whole body listening. For whole body listening, we use the eyes to look at the person in the face, in their eyes, and let them know that we care about them and what they have to say. But we also use our eyes to read their facial expressions and their body language. Both of those things give us a lot of clues to what they might really be thinking or feeling. We also use the ears to hear the words that somebody says, but also the tone of voice that they're using, which can also give us a lot of cues as to maybe some underlying meaning. And then we also have to consider the mouth. The children have to be taught that your mouth has to be quiet because noises that you would make, humming, talking, side conversations, all cause a great distraction for the teacher and for the children alike. And that's a really fun one to play act with the kids so that they understand it more fully when they see how it affects themselves. For whole body listening, we talk about how a child's hands should be quiet, not making any noise. Some of our kids need to have fidgets, which is fine as long as they don't become a distraction. Feet should be quiet and on the floor, and their bodies and faces should be turned towards the speaker, not looking out the window or turned around towards a friend, because that shows that they're not interested in what we're talking about or what another person is talking about. In a way, I think the last two components of whole body listening are the most important. It goes to why we're actually having a conversation. We're supposed to use our brain to think about what is being said and our heart to show that we care about what the other person is saying. There have been many times I've had conversations between students, and at the end of it I'll ask what the other person did or said, and the one child won't be able to respond because although he asked a question, he did not keep his brain thinking about what was being said, and his heart really wasn't caring about his peer. He was probably caring more about what he was going to do after school or what he did, what he did in a video game the day before. When the heart and the brain are engaged, it is amazing how much the children can process and retain about other people or about information that they're learning in the classroom. Again, it goes to intrinsic motivation. Active listening in a conversation. For this, we're talking about the use of whole body listening, but really being a little more specific. We want the children to think with their eyes, meaning that they use their eyes to think about the facial expressions and body language and what the person may be thinking. Think with their ears, listening to the words and tone of voice, and asking questions and making comments. This helps people know that they're cared about and that you care about what they're saying, and it also helps to keep the conversation going. Before you speak, think. This is probably my favorite one ever. T, is it true? H, is it helpful? I, is it interesting to your listener? N, is it necessary? K, is it kind? I found this on Pinterest about 2 years ago and changed the I from is it inspiring to is it interesting to your listener. Felt like inspiring was kind of a difficult thing for a child to understand, but with a lot of our students, they don't understand that when they speak incessantly about their own favorite topic, they're going to lose their audience. People aren't going to want to listen to them, and that they need to be mindful of that. The whole body listening and active listening aspect will help them to make sure that what they're talking about is something that others want to hear. And the other ones are pretty self-explanatory. Is it true? Is it helpful? Necessary and kind. The THINK acronym really does dovetail nicely also into you can change how someone feels by what you say and what you do. This little poster kind of just demonstrates to the children the kinds of words that they say and how they make people feel. So saying, come on, join in, you're nice, that was a good story, you did great, as opposed to, I'm much better than you, who cares, that picture's ugly, and using negative and rude words. Children need to connect with the fact that they have power, their words and actions have power, and that when they say something to someone, they really can hurt them. Once they realize that, and they realize how much power they do have, kids are great. They really do try to start to have a little more self-control in how they treat other people. In school, when somebody does something unexpected or says something unexpected, we'll often say, well, was that helpful or hurtful to, whatever the kid's name is, or was that helpful or hurtful to our group? And it's the very rare child that will actually say something is helpful if indeed it was really making a negative impact on someone else. I feel like it's almost the Jiminy Cricket catchphrase, because it makes the children really check themselves and be honest with themselves. The program as a whole has really taught the children that not only do they each matter individually, but that they all matter as individuals and as a group. And that what one person does, or two people do, can affect the group in either a positive way or a negative way. The students have been responding very well, very positively so far, and it's our hope that it just continues to get better and better. Thanks for listening.